Hey everyone, welcome to the DevStories Podcast. Today our guest is Yuvraj Chhetri. Yuvraj is a CCO, which stands for Chief Creative Officer at a company called Showcase, which is a very useful platform for developers, and we will discuss everything about it today. Yuvraj is also a technical writer and an avid open source contributor. Yuvraj, what do you have to say about the introduction? Did I miss something?
No, not actually. Hey, Vinas, thanks for the introduction. Let me tell you about Showcase. Showcase, you can say it's a platform. You can say it's a Facebook for developers, right? The You can say it's like you can share everything, like ranging from blogs, technical articles, or shows, to series, and all your experiences and learning, and all these stuffs you can share in Showcase. Yeah.
So, how is it different from LinkedIn and Twitter?
Okay. Speaking about LinkedIn and Twitter, I mean Twitter and LinkedIn, they are both nice, but they lack one thing, that is community building, right? You don't have feature for community. Twitter has one, but that's not active, right? And so for that reason, the showcase was made for, like, if you have community, like if you want to build community, or if you have community, you can just, like, in your local area or in your school or university and colleges, you can just onboard them in Showcase, and you can collaborate with them, communicate with them, you can share your learnings, and you can just write a thread just for your community.
We're going to do a walkthrough of the Showcase platform. Yuvraj is going to show us all the features. And also one more point I would like to bring up. One more CCO of Showcase, your friend Arpan,
Yeah,
told this to me once I was talking to him that Showcase is a kind of a combination of LinkedIn and Twitter. So best of both worlds are there in Showcase. Would you
yeah,
agree
yeah,
with that?
yeah, I totally agree with that. Because in LinkedIn, what LinkedIn is different from other platform is, like, they have the job opportunities, right?
Yeah.
And we in the Showcase, there is already the opportunities and other stuffs, like especially the remote opportunities, which is very rare to find, and all the openings in around the globe has been listed in the Showcase platform. So yeah, you can see here, this is actually the Showcase platform. This is actually the first the page after you log in. This will be visible to you, and I want to show you the community. Yeah. So we have, like, numerous communities, ranging from, like, we can also see the Bangladesh communities, like water cooler communities, and introduction communities, and we also have the meme sharing communities, where the developer memes comes into the picture. You can just share whatever developer memes you have, and others will also share with that. And we also have community for React JS and other stuffs like that.
I can see
And
great numbers here, like 80,000 members in the React community, I think.
yeah, React is actually one of the, like,
18,000. Okay.
most active community in the
Yeah,
entire showcase.
that's great.
And I also want to show you about the opportunities, right? So this is actually the opportunities, which you can say, like, all the openings around the globe, the basically the remote opportunities. This has been sorted according to your profile, like when you create the profile, the tech stack which you are already familiar with or you are experienced with, the all the position has been showed according to your tech stack, right? So I'm already
Yeah.
into Kubernetes and DevOps, so that's why it has been shown. And yeah, this was about the showcase, which is, like, just want to share you about that. In other platforms, this thing is lacking, the communities part, right?
Yeah.
We don't have communities for, like, your own country. We also have communities for India as well. You see, yeah, we are around 4,000, yeah, 4,500 members. So this thing has been lagged in other platforms. So the main motive behind building Showcase was actually for the community. It was actually built by the developer for the developer. Yeah.
That's really great. So, how did you get the opportunity to become CCO? Was it through the platform? Do you want to share the story about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been very active into the Twitter, and I like following people who create valuable content. Okay, so one day I got to know about Rong, who is currently the CEO and co-founder of Showcase, and through him I got to know about the Showcase platform, and I've been following him since like 5 to 6 months, and from him I got to know about Showcase, and yeah, from there I got to know about Showcase, and I've been all I've been like putting content and all the shows and series in Showcase. Yeah, from there I got to know about the CCO role. Like it's been, I guess it's been around a month. I've been joined this as the CCO role at Showcase, and yeah, it feels great. There are very like great communities and great number of peoples around like Africa and Nigeria and from India as well. Yeah.
That's great. And you also mentioned in one of our previous conversations that there might be an opening for the CCO role next year as well. So those were not aware this year, who have become aware now, can apply next year. So do you want to share what are the roles and responsibilities of a CCO?
Yeah, I mean, I think this was the first cohort of the CCO role at Showcase, and I've been talking with the HR and other uh, tech lead and devrel lead with Favor and Tapas as well. So I've been talking with them, and they have been said like we'll get many more CCOs or many more people to bring in other platforms. I think there is lacking people from like from the American, like all US people and the Australian, from the Australia and from even from the England. So I think next year the people from all over the world, we are trying to bring it to the Showcase platform. And speaking about the CCO role at Showcase, it depend. It I mean it varies from organization to organization. At a Showcase, the CCO role is just has it's like the CCO is the main speaker or main you can say lead or leader of the Showcase. Like you just have to introduce Showcase at your communities at your local area. And yeah, and other roles I can say it's that like you have to build content so that other people's like can can be benefited from your content, and even your portfolio gets boost. And yeah, I
Yeah,
think these two are
and
the main.
community building.
Yeah. So I also want to highlight you about the Showcase Academy, which contains the roadmap. You can say the dedicated roadmap. Like it's for people who are just getting started with the tech stack. Currently, we have I guess four. That is HTML, CSS, Flutter, React, and JavaScript. And we are having we'll definitely have the DSA and DevOps in the near future. And I'm also working on the Go roadmap, which I think it will be in the platform around 2 to 3 months.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Definitely, we'll have to check the Go roadmap.
Yep, yep, yep. I highly recommend the people who wants to build community, right? So they can just onboard their community into Showcase, and yeah, you can just carry out your all your stuffs. This will be easy. Like you can share your all your work and your experiences in just one platform. You don't have to like do you don't have to like go from one platform to another. Everything is here.
And I can see there are many different kinds of content that can be posted on Showcase.
Yeah.
So I noticed you also have a good following on Showcase. You have posted a lot of threads. So what would you say? What kind of content works on Showcase, or your own experience? What kind of content worked for you on Showcase?
Yeah, I mean, it totally depends upon the community you are in. I mean, I feel like the current most active community is React and JavaScript. If you are a React developer, then I think you'll get more benefited because the React community is more active here, and it doesn't matter if you are if you are in other tech stack. Like I'm into Golang, and I'm also active in Golang community, and I also like do open source, and I'm active in open source community as well. I in the front end part I do very little. Like I'm not into front end. I'm always into the back end part. Yeah, and it totally depends upon the community as well.
So the community, when you interact in the community, then you will automatically get ideas about what kind of content works, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it will help you build further. Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Can you show us your profile? What kind of content you have posted? Would that the profile building system in Showcase is great. Like it can act as a CV as well.
Yeah, 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 definitely. I mean, I'll just show you this, that I've created many threads. Like this Sunday one I've created, And you can also like repost, or you can just post the thread which you like. And yeah, and this is the GitHub Summerfest and all. You can also create shows into the into Showcase. And one thing I'd like to highlight is the profile part. Like suppose you want to share what you are learning, and what your experiences
Yeah.
and how you are doing with one of your friend. uh, in the traditional way, what you do is you just share a resume or other platform, profile, right? So instead of that, you can what you can do is you can just share your Showcase profile, and with that they'll get to know what you are doing and how it's going, and all these stuffs they can show. And also, if you want like to generate a separate resume, you can generate your resume snapshot from here, and you can share in any job openings or stuff like that. What you can do is like you can generate your resume snapshot, and if something has changed, then the resume gets built again. If nothing has been changed, then the previous resume will be shown to you. Okay, so this is the resume snapshot, and what you can do is just and yeah, you can see all your bios and your skills, your experiences. If you put all your experiences in, then this will be shown here, and all your repositories like your projects you are doing, and this all the stuffs that will be visible here, and all your circle members like the Ansel and Aryan, they both are CCOs at Showcase, and through that I got to know them. And yeah, I've been connected. They are in my circle, and industry that I'm interested in. Like all this will be shown here, and the role attributes that you are currently interested in will be shown here. Yeah,
That's great.
this.
That's it's nice that it's just a one page
Yeah,
CV.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, Showcase was the main motive behind building Showcase was the community, and this is what it makes difference from other platforms, I feel.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And all the features, all the good features of every other platform is kind of integrated into Showcase, like the jobs part of the LinkedIn, the threads part of the Twitter, and even Udemy kind of because of the Showcase Academy feature.
Yeah,
There are
yeah,
courses as well. So all the parts that developers require, it's integrated. That's really great. All right, you guys. So we have shared about Showcase. More people have become aware, hopefully, and it will benefit them definitely. So now let's change topics. Let's talk about open source. Since I mentioned in the introduction, you are an avid open source contributor. So let me ask you a question about it. So, what was your first open source contribution? What was that experience like?
yeah. I mean, I started contributing to open source like 1 year back, and that was the best thing that happened to me. Open source was like the best thing that happened to me. And yeah, I mean, open source, it's like the major contribution, like it doesn't matter, right? Be it easy, be it the basic contribution, be it intermediate, be it the advanced, like it's like you're just doing the voluntary work. So the maintainers, they are also very much helpful. Okay, so unlike competitive programming where you just solve easy, hard and medium questions, it's not like that. So the maintainers and the people from open source community, they are actually very much welcoming. And yeah, speaking about my first contribution in open source, it was in Kubernetes. It was basically the typos, and I just uh, I just implemented like a command in the Kubernetes website, and yeah, I mean this that got merged as well. I
Nice.
mean that was my first contribution. After that, I explored Kubernetes. I even built a Kubernetes operator through KubeBuilder. KubeBuilder is actually the framework for building Kubernetes operator. And yeah, I mean that was
That
the
was a
start.
part of the Kubernetes open source
Yeah,
project.
yeah. Actually, it was a part of the GSOC program, but unfortunately, that project didn't got like uh, accepted in the GSOC. So even though it's not about like program, like
Yeah.
there are various programs you can see. It's not open source is not about money and all. It's about your contributions and all your skills, and obviously the collaboration.
Yeah, even though it did not get accepted, you got to learn a lot, and your contributions will always be there as a
Yeah,
token of your skill or your
yeah,
improvement.
yeah.
So, Let's. Anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, if you are if you are a developer, then I highly recommend contributing to open source. This will really change your life. And I always do open source in the meantime, like when I get free, when I get exhausted, then I do open source. I always explore the GitHub, and GitHub and GitLab is always open in my Google Chrome.
Nice. That's great. So, what are some of your favorite open source projects, or maybe you use or you contribute to?
Yeah, so actually, I'm highly interested in cloud and DevOps. So my favorite organization is obviously the Linux Foundation, Cloud Native Computing Foundation, and under that, I really like Kubernetes and Prometheus, Argo CD, and all these stuffs, because all these stuffs I really use in my day to day life, and contributing to that, and it will it benefits a lot of people. So because of that, these three are my current favorite repos in open source.
All right. So you use them as well and you contribute to them.
Yeah, I contribute to them as
Yeah, that's also one of the first steps of like deciding which project to contribute to. If you already use that project, then it becomes kind of
well. Yeah,
easier to contribute, right?
yeah.
So continuing from that, what advice would you give to someone who is a beginner who is starting to contribute?
Who is just starting to contribute. I have seen a lot of folks in my college and as well in my friend circle as well, who has started in open source and they left in the middle, right? Because in the beginning, if you start contributing to open source, then you don't understand everything, because it's just that vast code base given to you. Now what you'll do, you just don't know anything about that. So it's not like that. You just have to communicate with the maintainers, and join the Slack channels or Discord channels, whatever channels they have. Then you can just communicate with them, you can take guidance from them, and from that you'll get to know more about the open source, or the repository which you are thinking of contributing to that. And yeah, in the beginning part, it takes some time to get used to with the code base and the open source, contributing and collaboration, and communicating with other folks. You can start contributing through documents. I highly recommend, don't jump into the code base, because it's 100% sure that you'll not understand anything.
They get overwhelmed.
Yeah. And if you start from documentation and the website, how it's been built, then it becomes easy for you, to get started. And then after taking too much hands-on on that website and documentation, then you can move into the other issues and like other problems in the open source.
Yeah, definitely. Great advice for someone who's a beginner. Another channel or medium of contribution to open source, apart from contributing to large code bases or big open source projects, is taking part or participating in open source programs like GSOC and the lesser known GSOC. I mean, GSOC is very popular, but some people are not aware of GSOC, which is Girlscript Foundation's Summer of Code, right?
Yeah.
So we are currently participating in that as well, me and
Yeah.
Yuvraj both. So a question related to that, uh, what would you suggest should be the mindset for someone who is participating in open source programs?
Okay, so in the Girlscript Summer of Code, you are asking, or in
In
other
any
platforms?
in any program.
So okay, I mean, in speaking about the Girlscript Summer of Code, I mean, this is very much it's very much beginner friendly. Like if you're just getting started with open source, and I think you should just get started with Girlscript Summer of Code program, which is organized by Girlscript Foundation. And it doesn't matter where you are from, and you are from high school, or you're from college, or you're working professional. I think you get selected in the Girlscript Summer of Code, and you can contribute. Like there are various projects you can contribute to that. Yeah, I mean, that's the projects. All the projects, they are actually from beginner to intermediate level, and you can contribute to that. It's like a starting point for open source programs. And speaking about Google Summer of Code, okay, so the Google Summer of Code, like it's being organized by the Google every year. Okay, previously it was Google Coding. Now it's been changed to Google Summer of Code. And speaking about that, like the Google Summer of Code, they actually have mentors. It's not actually the internship program. It's actually a mentorship program, right? They have the mentors, and the mentors are basically the previous contributors who have done very good in their
Yeah.
in the current project, or they are the maintainers of the project, right? And yeah, I mean, GSOC, it's all about like communicating with the maintainers and the project mentors. You just have to join their whatever platform they use. I like this time I contributed to Jenkins. They had like it was something. This time I contributed to Jenkins, so it was basically the Gitter channel where you can join and just communicate with the mentors and collaborators. You can just submit your draft proposal with the mentors, and it depends upon your luck basically. Like there are in one organization there are 12 to 13 projects, but I think like the maximum number of projects that will be get selected is around 4. So it also depends upon the the project which you are selecting. So I would say choose wisely. And yeah, I mean, in speaking about in CNCF, they actually have the Slack channel, right,
Yeah.
where you can discuss with the mentors and collaborators, or the maintainers. You can just chat with them, and you can just submit your proposal to them so that they can identify all the errors and some guidance which you can
They will
get from.
review.
Yeah. You will that will boost your proposal.
All right. So, who is this proposal submitted to? Like the maintainers?
No, actually, the draft proposal is being submitted to the maintainers.
Okay, okay, got it.
You just get to review, and
Hmm.
at the end, the official the proposal is being submitted in the Google Summer of Code web page.
Web page, right. All right, that's a great tip. That's awesome. Or another thing is that you have to keep contributing from the very beginning, not just when there are few days left for Google
Yeah,
Summer
yeah.
Code.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
the previous contribution to your project and other repos, it really matters. And if you have not contributed to that, then there is high chances that the other person who has done same as your, but has been contributing to the project since from 1 2 months ago, then it's high chances that the other person would get selected. So I highly recommend that before being making the proposal, get through the code repository of the project and just try to contribute something, at least something which you can add in your proposal later on.
oh, recently I read something. I follow your content on Twitter and GitHub, so I read something you wrote about the dark side of open source. What is that like? Can you share something about that to our audience? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, the don't get confused. Actually, the open source was the best thing that happened to me, and the dark side, which I feel like there is one dark side of open source, that is the maintainers daily life. Okay, so when I'll keep my perspective through the in maintainers, and like when we are contributing to a project. Okay, so even if it's small, or it's like basic or advanced or intermediate, then you have to think from the maintainer's perspective. You just can't contribute to a repo and you are keep asking the maintainers like, can you merge it, can you review it, and all these stuff. Because maintainers actually, they are there is a big difference between doing a voluntary walk in a park like on Sunday on the weekend and being the park keeper. There is a lot of difference.
Yeah.
So I'd like to suggest that when you are contributing to a project, if you have given the pull request, then I think you just have patience so that maintainers can see your pull request in the meantime, because maintainers also has to do some work. Okay, they are not actually free, they have to do a lot of works. They have other stuffs like how to grow the open source project, and how to make this project more more creative and all these stuffs. So they are actually very busy. So I'd like to suggest that don't just keep asking the maintainers to review the pull request and let it merge and all. So yeah, I feel like this is actually one of the dark side of open source, the maintainers daily life routine.
Do you want to share some experiences about interactions you have had with maintainers of the open source projects? Any any ones you remember? Something?
Yeah, I mean, while contributing to the Kubernetes like project, and also the Meshery, yeah, the CNCF sandbox project. Uh, I have like talked with the maintainers, and they like, I just said like how this can be done. Yeah, I've taken lots of guidance from the maintainers of the CNCF projects like Kubernetes and Meshery. And speaking about my experience, while I was contributing to Jenkins project, the maintainers were the maintainers. He was very much aged, around, I don't know the exact age, but he was mostly from 60. He was mostly 60 plus,
Okay.
and he was very much helpful. Like I mean, at that age, he is also very much active in open source, and he is very much
Yeah, I can understand.
yeah. I mean,
Like it just shows that open source does not have age barriers or anything.
yeah.
And
All this stuff.
and old people are stereotyped that they don't understand technology, but that is not true.
Yeah,
Yes, in fact, last video that I uploaded, the last podcast that I uploaded, when I uploaded it and I wrote the description, everything, the
yeah.
timestamps were not coming. Then
Oh,
I searched on YouTube and I found an old grandpa channel
yeah.
who showed how to fix it.
You just can't underestimate the
Old people.
yeah old people.
Okay. So how does technical writing and open source? How are these two things connected, and what is your experience with technical writing?
Yeah, I mean, I was very interested in reading documentation. I always prefer reading documentation rather than watching the long tutorials. Okay, and I like watching like the blogs of my niche, like which I'm interested in. So I was like, there was something lacking. Like I could add something that I know that the other people hasn't written in their blog. Okay, so in this way, my technical writing journey started. I started writing from the basically it was first actually the hackathon from the We Make Devs. I wrote about the Cubescape, which was a fantastic tool for scanning your Kubernetes cluster. And from that, I used to write the technical writing. I mean, I just contributed. I not contributed. I mean, I write I write technical blogs because I feel that this is something that hasn't been written by someone, and if somebody has written, then I feel like there is something lacking that I could add. Okay,
Your perspective.
yeah, actually my perspective that I could add in the blog. So in this way it started, and yeah, I feel like I'm enjoying a lot in technical writing, and I always write blogs like when I'm free. Basically, in my meantime, I always write blogs and all the stuffs related to. Basically, it's related to DevOps, open source, and cloud computing stuff.
That's
You
great.
can,
That's great. And you write for other publications as well.
yeah. I mean, I have written a blog, not blog actually. It was a documentation for DigitalOcean. Yeah, DigitalOcean. I have written. You can also write on the DigitalOcean platform. They actually pay you for writing for them, and yeah, that's for the student. That's a lot of money which you can from writing for other platforms. What you can do is you can just go in any open source tools, like you can just go into Argo CD or Kubernetes and Prometheus. Like you can just search in the CNCF the incubating projects which are just been incubated in the CNCF.
No.
You can just go into their website, and you can just communicate the maintainers of the project about like I can add this blog in your tutorial part, in the blog part. I could add this. Then if it's like unique and that matches with their project, then definitely you will get selected.
Awesome. So there are paid writing programs as well in
Yeah,
different organizations in the cloud native space as well. So do you
yeah.
pitch regularly? Would you say that?
Uh, I don't pitch regularly. Like if I get some idea, like for the DigitalOcean part, I got some idea, and
Or
like
something you were working on?
yeah, I was something that I was working on, and I couldn't find that documentation in any of their website. So I said that I could add this, and it got accepted because it was very much unique, and it was very much like uh, the people were searching for that issue and all.
That's awesome. That's very important information, valuable information for our audience who are interested in writing and technical writing. Of course, we would suggest the platform Hashnode. We both have Hashnode blogs. So,
Right.
can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about Hashnode?
Yeah, I mean, is a really better platform because speaking about the developer's perspective, I mean, Hashnode is really awesome because of their that the writing like editor, like that's very much different from other platforms. In other platforms, you just write the content and you can preview that content. Okay, so in Hashnode, it doesn't work like that. You write in the way that you can preview that as well on in the me in at the same time. So that's the one feature I really like. And the Hashnode is really the developer centric, so I prefer Hashnode writing over other platforms.
That's great. I like the markdown feature in Hashnode. Like it's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
enjoyable to write. And oh, we can you can of course repost as well from your personal website and blog. You can repost to Hashnode. That's what I do. I use the Hashnode editor, but then I first publish on my blog, then I publish on Hashnode. So and for that, I would like to add that you need to add the yeah. Talking about writing, how much do you think AI has changed your writing process?
okay, so the AI generated content, like if before ChatGPT, the AI generated content was like people were not able to figure out whether that been generated by AI or stuff like that. I think I made a blog, not a blog. I mean, I made a blog. The whole blog was like generated through ChatGPT, and I just for just checking out how it goes, how the traction comes from that blog. So I just uh, published that blog in my Hashnode, but I feel like the traction didn't came well. Okay, in comparison to other blogs and all. I just researched about it, and I just found that like there is something human touch that's needed in the technical writing. Okay, like the practical knowledge and all these stuffs is needed in technical writing. So I feel like the human touch is actually needed while writing in the blogs.
Yeah, definitely. Did you try to automate the writing process? Like, did you use agents or something for that blog?
Yeah, I mean, I have tested the Auto GPT and BBAGI called
Yeah.
BBAGI. I just forked and I used, and my like the computer was crashed because it was not highly optimized.
Okay.
So Auto GPT, I have been using that, and yeah, I mean, I just asked him to like Auto GPT. One feature I really like Auto GPT is that it browses your the website content, okay, which is with the Chat GPT doesn't do.
Hmm.
So I just you can just say that I want to write a content on this, then it gets generated, and you can also add on that the generated content should be in my directory in text format. You can do that. AutoGPT is great for I feel like for researching projects, but as I mentioned earlier, that human touch is definitely needed for technical writing.
Yeah, AutoGPT has a lot of potential for revolutionizing like software space and creating different kind of automation pipelines for software developers. That would be
Yeah.
awesome to see. Like before GitHub Actions and Jenkins, like how long have they been around? Do you have any idea about that?
I mean, Jenkins is very old. I mean, before DevOps comes, like the DevOps was hyped very much.
Yeah.
Before that, Jenkins was already into the market. Okay,
Yeah.
so it was like Jenkins was, it was from a long time ago, and
Okay.
Jenkins was, it was the first, I feel like the first word that came was from Jenkins, right? It used, the automate word that came was from Jenkins, because it used to automate the workflows, like testing and integrating the development code base into the production code base.
Yeah.
Later on, the delivery part came. The It was after, I guess, the GitHub Actions, most probably. GitHub Actions came very late. Uh, before that, already there were so many tools into the market.
Yeah, but before those tools, I think there was a time when automation did not exist much in the DevOps space and I mean operations and development space.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I think we will see a change in how we work as software developers because of AutoGPT and other agents and
yeah,
tools like that. Okay, thank you, Yuvraj, for coming to the podcast. I'm glad to have you as a guest. We had a great conversation.
yeah. Thank you
So,
for having me here.
do you have any closing remarks for our audience?
Yeah, I mean, if you are definitely getting started with community building, then I would suggest checking out the Showcase platform, and I'd suggest that also contribute to open source projects. That would be the best thing.